Scout Automobile, welcome to Start, and today you're not just watching a car story, you're stepping into a legend reborn. A machine whispered about in engineering rooms and dreamed about by Corvette fans for decades. The 2026 Corvette Zora. A name that carries history, rebellion, racing DNA and pure American ambition. And from the very first second you hear that name, you already know this is not a normal Corvette. This is the Corvette that finally breaks every wall people said could never be broken. A car built not just to win stoplight races, but to challenge the very idea of what a hypercar is supposed to be. And the wild part is, this story doesn't start in 2026. It starts decades ago with a man who believed Corvette could be more than a stylish sports car. Zora Arkus Duntov, the godfather of Corvette performance, the man who pushed GM to race, to innovate, to dream bigger, and now in 2026 Chevrolet finally says his name out loud on the most extreme Corvette ever created. The 2026 Corvette Zora feels like a thunderclap the moment you imagine it rolling onto the road, low, wide, aggressive, almost angry in stance, with a presence that doesn't ask for attention, it demands it. Because this car isn't designed to blend in, it's designed to dominate. From the sharp aerodynamic lines to the brutally functional bodywork, everything screams purpose. The front end looks carved by airflow itself, massive intakes pulling air like lungs before a sprint, while the rear is all about downforce, stability and violence controlled with precision. This is not designed for beauty alone, this is designed for speed, for lap times, for records. Under the skin is where the Zora becomes something almost unreal, because Chevrolet didn't just take one powerful idea, they stacked power on power, engineering on engineering, creating a hybrid system that doesn't apologize for being extreme. A twin-turbo V8 paired with electrification that doesn't soften the car but sharpens it, instant torque filling every gap, power delivered like a punch that never ends, numbers that sound exaggerated until you realize this is Chevrolet quietly rewriting its own limits, with total output rumored to push well beyond 1,000 horsepower, a figure that once belonged only to million-dollar hypercars from Europe, and now it's wearing a Corvette badge. But what makes the Zora special isn't just raw power, it's how that power is used. All-wheel drive transforms the Corvette into a weapon that can launch, corner and exit with terrifying confidence. Electric motors working in harmony with combustion fury, delivering grip where it's needed and speed where it matters. And the result is acceleration that feels like gravity has been turned off, 0 to 60 in a blink, quarter, mile times that embarrass supercars twice the price, and yet it's controllable, drivable. Engineered with the idea that performance should be accessible, not intimidating. Inside the cabin, the Zora doesn't forget its roots but elevates everything. The cockpit wraps around the driver like a fighter jet, screens angled perfectly, information flowing without distraction, materials chosen not just for luxury but for feedback, carbon fiber where weight matters, Alcantara where grip matters, leather where comfort still belongs, and when you sit inside, you don't feel like a passenger, you feel like the command center of something alive, something waiting for you to push the limits. The steering wheel tells a story the moment you touch it, thick, purposeful, packed with controls that make sense at speed, and behind it, paddle shifters snap with mechanical precision, reminding you that every gear change is a decision, every input matters. The seats hold you tight, not to comfort you, but to prepare you, because this car expects commitment, it expects attention, it expects respect. On the road, the Zora is a paradox, calm when you want it to be, absolutely savage when you don't, cruising quietly with electric assistance. Smooth, refined, almost polite, but press the throttle, and the world compresses, sound floods the cabin, turbo spool, electric motors surge, and suddenly you're not driving through traffic, you're slicing through time. And that dual personality is what makes the Zora revolutionary, because it proves that extreme performance doesn't have to mean constant chaos. On the track, the Zora transforms completely, suspension stiffens, aerodynamics come alive, the car squats and grips like it's glued to the asphalt. Every corner becomes an opportunity to go faster than you thought possible. Braking zones shrink, exit speeds climb, and lap after lap, the Zora shows that this isn't a straight-line monster pretending to be a track car. This is a true performance machine, engineered to chase lap records and crush expectations. The sound of the Zora deserves its own moment, because it's not just noise, it's character, a deep, aggressive V8 roar layered with turbo whistle and electric whine, a futuristic symphony that somehow still feels old-school American, raw but refined, angry but controlled. And when it echoes off buildings or grandstands, people don't just look, they stop, because that sound tells them something serious just passed by. What makes the 2026 Corvette Zora truly dangerous to the competition is value. Because Chevrolet refuses to play the elitist game, this car is engineered to destroy cars that cost 2 or 3 times more. And that philosophy has always been Corvette's secret weapon, delivering supercar and hypercar performance at a price that feels almost disrespectful to the market. And the Zora takes that idea to its absolute extreme, forcing every other brand to answer a brutal question: how do you compete with this? This is the Corvette that finally steps into global dominance, the one that doesn't just challenge Ferraris, Lamborghinis and McLarens, but looks them in the eye and says, "Catch me if you can." Because the Zora isn't chasing validation. It's rewriting the scoreboard in Nürburgring times, acceleration benchmarks, real-world usability. All of it becomes a battlefield, and the Zora arrives armed for every fight. The name Zora isn't just branding, it's a promise, a message to the past and the future, honoring the man who believed Corvette should race, should innovate, should lead. And now that belief lives in carbon fiber, steel, electrons, and fire. Rolling out of the factory as the most ambitious Corvette ever built, a car that carries legacy without being trapped by it. For Corvette fans, the Zora feels emotional, almost personal, because it represents decades of dreaming, of what if GM really went all in. And now they have, without compromise, without apology, without fear, and the result is a car that feels like the ultimate expression of American performance engineering. Even the way the Zora looks at rest feels tense, like it's holding back energy. The wide stance, the massive tires, the aggressive aero elements all hint at what it's capable of. And when people walk around it, phones come out, conversations stop, because this isn't just another sports car, this is a statement. The technology inside the Zora is not gimmicky, it's purposeful. Advanced driver aids that don't interfere but enhance, traction systems that let you explore limits safely, customizable drive modes that let you tailor the car to your mood, your road, your ambition, and everything works together seamlessly, reminding you that this is a machine built by people who understand drivers. And yet, despite all this performance, the Zora still remembers that it's a Corvette, a car meant to be driven, not hidden away, meant to be enjoyed, not feared. And that balance is what truly separates it from exotic hypercars that feel like museum pieces. The Zora wants miles, it wants heat, it wants stories. As the world shifts toward electrification, the Zora stands as a bridge between eras, proving that electric power doesn't kill excitement, it amplifies it when used correctly, combining instant response with emotional combustion. And in doing so, it shows a future where performance doesn't lose its soul. Every time the Zora accelerates, it feels like a challenge to the industry. A reminder that innovation doesn't belong to one continent or one price bracket. It belongs to those brave enough to push limits, and Chevrolet has pushed harder than ever before. The 2026 Corvette Zora isn't just the fastest Corvette, it's the boldest, the most unapologetic, the most ambitious. A car that exists because someone finally said yes to every crazy idea, and the result is something that feels historic the moment it's born. When you imagine pulling up in the Zora, you don't imagine blending in, you imagine owning the moment. Because this car doesn't whisper success, it announces it loudly, confidently, unapologetically, and in that announcement it carries decades of Corvette DNA forward into a future that looks faster, louder, and more exciting than ever. This is the Corvette that people will talk about years from now. The one they'll say changed everything, the one that proved American performance could evolve without losing its edge, the one that honored its past while absolutely destroying the present. And as the engine cools and the silence returns, one thing becomes clear: the 2026 Corvette Zora isn't just a car, it's a turning point, and once you understand that, there's no going back.